To relax and let the universe manifest anything for you is not a call to laziness, nor an invitation to drift aimlessly through life. It is, rather, the deep recognition that the creative power of the universe is not outside of you, but within you, moving through you, breathing in you, shaping your world according to the state of consciousness you dare to assume. When I speak of relaxation, I do not mean the mere loosening of your muscles, or the reclining of your body on a chair. I mean the letting go of struggle, the ceasing of resistance, the dropping of the frantic urge to control every condition, every person, every outcome. For creation does not come through force, it comes through stillness, through quiet faith, through an interior, knowing that what you assume is already real, already complete, already present. You have been taught to believe that effort brings results, that striving is the only path to achievement, that struggle must precede reward. But the laws of the inner world are different. Here, effort is not force, but focus, and relaxation is not passivity, but power. When you truly relax, you align with the unseen stream of life that is always moving in your favor, waiting only for you to stop standing in its way. The imagination is the creative cause of all that appears in your experience. It is the secret place where worlds are formed, where futures are determined, where the invisible becomes visible. To relax is to surrender to this inner workshop, to let your imagination paint the scene of your desire as if it were already a fact. You do not need to strain to make it so, for the assumption of the feeling of the wish fulfilled is creation itself. The moment you enter the state of already having what you long for, it is finished. The outer world may still show you evidence to the contrary, but the seed is planted. And just as no gardener digs up the soil each morning to check whether the seed has sprouted, so too must you trust the unseen process of manifestation. Relaxation is that trust. It is the confidence that your assumption contains within itself the means of fulfillment. The universe is not a force outside of you deciding what you may or may not have. The universe is your own wonderful human imagination pushed out. It reflects your inner states with mathematical precision, mirroring back to you the quality of your inner conversations, your moods, your assumptions. When you are tense, when you are anxious, when you grasp at results, you are broadcasting the state of not having. You are saying silently, "I do not yet possess this." And life, obedient as always, echoes that state back to you. But when you relax, when you let go of the desperate urgency, when you simply rest in the assumption that it is already done, then the universe mirrors that state of completion, and the path to your desire unfolds with effortless grace. To let the universe manifest for you is to release the illusion of separation between you and the power that creates worlds. It is to understand that creation begins and ends in consciousness, and that your only true work is to assume and sustain the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Consider how you fall asleep each night. You do not force yourself into unconsciousness. You surrender, you relax, you let go, and sleep takes you in its arms. Manifestation works in the same way. You must fall asleep in the state of your fulfilled desire. You must surrender to it, relax into it, feel the sweetness of its reality as though it were already yours. Then, without effort, without struggle, the universe arranges circumstances, moves people, shifts events, until your desire becomes fact in the world of sense. Many of you live as though the outer world is the cause and your inner world the effect. You believe that if you can only arrange the circumstances just right, then peace will come, then joy will appear, then abundance will flow. But it is the reverse. The inner world is cause, the outer is effect. The moment you relax into the inner assumption of joy, peace, and abundance, the outer must mirror that state. It has no choice. It is law. Therefore, when I say relax, I am inviting you to rest in the assurance of this law. Imagine as vividly as you can that which you desire to experience. Do not imagine it as something you will have someday. Imagine it as though it were already here. Let the scene play before your mind's eye, not as a distant hope, but as a present fact. Feel its reality. Feel the satisfaction, the relief, the joy of it. Then drop it, release it, Let it go, knowing that it is already accomplished. This is relaxation in the truest sense. There is no effort in creation, only assumption. Effort belongs to the man who doubts. Effort belongs to the one who thinks he must force the world into shape. But the one who believes, the one who knows the law, rests. He acts outwardly when moved, yes, but his action is never strained, never frantic, never desperate. His action is inspired, flowing naturally from the inner conviction that the desire is already his. To let the universe manifest for you, you must give up the addiction to control. You must stop trying to dictate how, when, and through whom your desire will appear. Think of your desires as gifts already wrapped, already waiting on the shelf of eternity. They exist, they are real, they are yours. The only question is, will you claim them? To claim them is to enter into their feeling now, to imagine that you already hold them in your hand, that you already live them in your experience. Once you do this, the universe must deliver, but it will do so in its own perfect timing, through its own perfect channels. If you try to dictate the way, you step into resistance. If you try to force the outcome, you deny your own faith. But if you relax, if you rest in the knowing that it is already yours, then manifestation becomes inevitable. Relaxation is faith in motion. It is trust embodied. It is the quiet smile of the one who knows that his word shall not return unto him void. The moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, creation is finished. It may not yet be visible to the eyes of sense, but it is already established in the unseen. To relax is to stand firm in that knowledge, regardless of appearances, regardless of delay. For delay is not denial. It is simply the unfolding of the bridge by which your desire travels from the unseen to the seen. So tonight, when you are alone, I invite you to close your eyes, relax your body, and enter into the scene of your fulfilled desire. See it clearly, hear the sounds of it, touch the reality of it, feel the satisfaction of already being there. And when you have felt it deeply enough to believe it, drop it, let it go, know it is done. Then walk in the world as though you already possess it. Live each day with the quiet confidence of the one who has received, for truly you have. The universe is not waiting to give. It has already given. It is you who must relax enough to receive. Therefore, I say to you, relax and let the universe manifest anything for you. Rest in the power of your imagination. Trust the law of assumption. Feel it real, and it will become real. This is the secret of creation. This is the effortless way of manifestation. And when you learn to live in this state of relaxation, you will discover that the universe was never against you, never withholding from you, but always echoing your innermost state of being. Every thought you persist in is like a seed cast into fertile soil, and the soil does not struggle to decide whether to bring forth the seed or not. It simply yields according to what has been planted. When you persist in tension, in worry, in fear, you are planting seeds that must by law bring forth their likeness. But when you relax, when you allow the sweet assurance of your fulfilled desire to dominate your mind, you are planting seeds of abundance, of love, of freedom, of health. And just as surely as the apple seed becomes an apple tree, the seed of your assumption becomes the reality of your life. To relax, then, is to become a wise sower, to plant deliberately, to trust the process, and to let the harvest appear in its perfect season. Imagine how absurd it would be if the farmer, having planted his field, sat beside the soil with a watch in his hand, saying, "Why has it not sprouted yet? Why is there no fruit this moment?" He knows that time is part of the process, that the unseen growth beneath the surface is as vital as the fruit itself. And so it is with you. The moment you assume, the growth begins, but it unfolds according to a rhythm deeper than your conscious mind can calculate. Your role is not to force, but to nurture, not to demand, but to dwell in the feeling that it is already done. When you begin to live this way, you notice something extraordinary. The pressure disappears. Life ceases to feel like a battle and begins to feel like a dance. You realize that you are not here to push against reality, but to mold it from within, to let your inner state crystallize outwardly into form. The people you meet, the circumstances that arise, the opportunities that seem to come out of nowhere, they are not coincidences. They are the universe rearranging itself to deliver the exact reflection of your inner assumption. If you desire love, relax into the feeling of already being cherished, already being chosen, already being adored. Let that warmth fill your chest. Let it soften your body. Let it spread through you until you cannot help but smile. Then release it, knowing that the mirror of life must send it back to you. If you desire wealth, relax into the feeling of already being supported, already being free, already living in abundance. Do not ask how the money will come, for that is the way of doubt. Simply let the sensation of prosperity settle upon you like a well-fitting garment. Wear it in your imagination, and soon you will wear it in fact. It is not the frantic man who manifests, but the calm man. It is not the anxious woman who calls forth her desire, but the woman who trusts. For trust is alignment, and alignment is power. The universe cannot resist the one who rests in the end. There is a stillness in such a person that speaks louder than words, a serenity that bends circumstances without strain, and those who meet him feel it. They do not know why they are drawn to him, why they wish to help him, why they move in ways that support his dream. But unconsciously, they are responding to the state he carries. Relaxation is magnetic. It draws to you without effort. It whispers to the universe, "It is already done." And the universe, echoing back, says, "Yes, it is." The struggle many of you feel comes from believing you are separate from the creative power. You pray as though begging an external force. You affirm as though trying to convince a reluctant giver. But manifestation is not about persuading some outside deity. It is about persuading yourself. It is about convincing your own imagination that the desire is already yours. And once you are convinced, the world has no choice but to comply. The man who is relaxed in his conviction cannot be shaken by appearances. He may see the bank account nearly empty, yet inwardly he knows he is wealthy, and so wealth comes. He may walk alone at night, yet inwardly he knows he is loved, and so love appears. He may feel the ache of sickness, yet inwardly he knows he is whole, and so health returns. He does not deny the outer facts. He simply refuses to let them dictate his inner truth. And because he dwells in the truth within, the facts without are compelled to change. Relaxation is not something you do once and then abandon. It is a way of being, a continual returning to the inner state of fulfillment, no matter what the outer suggests. And with practice, it becomes natural. You will find yourself less easily disturbed, less reactive, less desperate for results. You will carry within you a calm assurance that life is for you, never against you, and that all things are conspiring to bring you the reflection of your innermost assumption. This calm assurance becomes a quiet rhythm that beats beneath every step you take. You may notice that the same tasks which once seemed heavy and burdensome begin to feel lighter. You answer the phone without dread. You step into conversations with ease. You engage with the world without the background noise of worry. For when you live in the assumption of the wish fulfilled, you do not wake each morning wondering what calamity may befall you. Instead, you awaken into the certainty that the universe is your ally, that life itself is tilted in your favor, and that unseen hands are arranging everything for your good. The outer world may still present its challenges, yet you carry within yourself the knowledge that those challenges are not barriers, but bridges. They are not signs of delay, but signals of unfolding. And because you know this, you remain relaxed. In this state, opportunities flow to you as though guided by invisible currents. A chance encounter leads to a new path. A forgotten idea resurfaces at just the right time. A door that once seemed locked swings open effortlessly. And you do not strain to seize them, for you realize they are part of the natural unfolding of your assumption. You are no longer the beggar at the gate of life, pleading for scraps of chance. You are the inheritor of infinite wealth, simply choosing which treasure to bring forth. And the act of choosing is nothing more than assuming and relaxing into that assumption until it hardens into fact. Think for a moment of the breath you take. You do not force it. You do not demand it. You allow it. It flows in and it flows out, sustaining you without your constant supervision. So it is with manifestation. The desire rises within you like an inhalation, and when you relax, when you trust, it flows out into the world of form like an exhalation. The only time it becomes difficult is when you interfere, when you tighten, when you insist that the breath be controlled rather than allowed. But the universe, like breath, knows what to do if only you will let it. And so the great secret is not in adding more effort, but in subtracting resistance. It is in dropping the tight grip of doubt, in loosening the clutch of fear, in laying down the heavy burden of how. For the how is not yours to decide. The how belongs to the unseen wisdom that governs the unfolding of creation. Your role is the vision, the feeling, the inner certainty. The rest will come, as surely as dawn follows night, as surely as spring follows winter. The relaxed man is not the idle man, he is the creative man. He knows that his true action takes place in imagination, and from that inner action, outer action flows without strain. He moves through the world with a sense of inevitability, as though he were walking a path already laid out before him. And indeed, he is. For once the end is assumed, the path must appear. Every step, every event, every so-called coincidence is simply the bridge of incidents carrying him from the invisible to the visible. He does not rush upon the bridge. He does not demand that it be shorter. He simply walks it with calm confidence, knowing that it leads unfailingly to the fulfillment of his desire. When you begin to embody this way of living, the texture of your days changes. The background tension that once accompanied you everywhere, the silent hum of doubt, the restless need to prove yourself, the fear of being left behind, dissolves little by little. What takes its place is an inner poise, a steadiness that no outer fluctuation can disturb. You might face the same circumstances that once caused you sleepless nights, yet now you meet them with a composure that seems almost otherworldly. And people notice. They sense something different about you, though they cannot always name it. They feel drawn to your calm, inspired by your ease, and they wonder what secret you have discovered. But the secret is simple. You have learned to relax into the end, to dwell in the unseen reality until it becomes the only reality you know. You begin to see that the universe is not random, not chaotic, not indifferent. It is precise, ordered, responsive, a perfect mirror of the inner man. And when you trust this law, life reveals itself as a partner, not a rival. You do not need to fight your way forward. You only need to choose inwardly and rest in that choice. The events of your life then arrange themselves like actors on a stage, each one playing its part to bring your inner drama to life. And because you know this, you lose the compulsion to meddle with the script, to rewrite the lines, to direct every movement. You become the audience and the playwright at once, knowing that the scene you hold within is already unfolding without. The energy you once wasted in anxiety and struggle is now freed for joy, for creativity, for presence. You discover that relaxation is not the absence of doing, but the presence of being. It is living from the state of already having, already being, already knowing. And in that state, your words carry more weight, your actions more impact, your presence more magnetism. For you are no longer scattered between desire and doubt, between longing and fear. You are whole, aligned, unified. And life responds to unity with abundance, just as surely as it responds to division with delay. So I say to you, stop wrestling with life as though it were your enemy. Stop begging the universe as though it were deaf. And stop doubting your own imagination as though it were powerless. Relax. Enter the end boldly. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and let it settle into you as naturally as breath. For the universe is not outside of you. It is you, reflected back to you in form. And the moment you dare to rest in the certainty of your desire, the moment you live as though it were already done, creation is finished. From that point forward, the world must bend to your inner truth. Do not force it, do not chase it, do not plead for it. Simply be it, and you will see it. This is the power that has always been yours. This is the law that never fails. Relax and let the universe manifest anything for you.